this is Jetcar here for a sort of battle report, more about a consideration of when is it okay to stop a game or call a game. When should you? You start a game, it doesn't go well, it's going to be a downhill battle from there. When is it okay to stop it? And here's an example where I should have, and let's use it for animating the discussion. So here we are working towards a battle between Skaven and Lizardmen, 2,500 points. Of course, I play Lizardmen, and I am trying variant. I've been advised not to use 2 Call 1 Cav blocks, just use the big one. And in do so, I don't go full crazy and put 16 Call 1 Riders in the unit. I put 11, and then I get Basiladon for the change. So you would have seen the list in the presentation of this video. From the left, I got my first unit of 25 skinks in cohort with musician, and the standard. I have 2 units of 11 skink skirmishers. Behind that is my Basiladon. Then is one of my salamanders. My second unit, this time of 26 skinks with poison attacks. The second salamander is taking cover, a little bit of cover, behind that house. Then I've got my block of 11 Cold One Riders. In there are my 2 Scarvets and my 2 old ones. Behind them is Teto Echo. Next to them is my level 1 of Beast. And then I got my third unit of skink skirmishers, 10 of them this time. My opponent has a Plague Furnace with Plague Monks, some Plague Skirmishers type thingies. Sorry, I don't play Skaven. He's got then in pink 3 units of Slave Rats, various numbers. Each of them have some added crew or weapon or something. There is a Hell Pit, which is awesomely converted, which is the pink thing on the 40 mil base there. He then has behind the building, you can't see them, but about 10 or 15 Storm Vermin. I don't remember because they're not going to do much this game. Sorry, spoiler. Then a Doom Wheel, and then a character with a Fellblade on the monster. Why do I know he's got a Fellblade? Because at the end of turn 1, he has to roll to see if he gets a win. For our scout moves, he plays cleverly his unit of Gutter Runner, so he blocks any of my Vanguard in move. And the plan for me was really to put my Saurus block there, and then if I get Vanguard moves, and depending on how he deploys, I move my Saurus block next to the forest there to take care of the right flank and the big hitting units. I'm gonna lose guys from the Fellblade, but I will take care of the Doom Wheel, and I will kill his Fellblade guy after a while. I then move my Chameleon Skinks, 6 of them behind the impassable terrain there, to put a bit of threat on the Hell Pit. And so it goes. Skaven win the roll. I roll 2 Vanguards for Teto Echo, however, and I move my Salamander on the left there behind the building to provide some lateral covering fire, and then my Skink Commission on the right move up to provide some threat to the Hell Pit and his character. Speaking of Hell Pit, he moves 13 inches forward, closer to what I think is his doom. I get a lot of poison attacks. I'm feeling confident by this one, if I don't get too unlucky. The Doom Wheel then moves through the forest or into the forest and does not get hit by any branches or stuck on any roots. The rest of his army then proceeds to move forward. His Plague Furnace, his Monks, Skirmishers, his blocks of slaves, and then his Clan Rats with his Gracie and his BSB move forward as well. His Storm Vermin are stuck behind the building, and next to them is the unit of slaves. As you can see there, the slave has moved up behind the wheel, and his character with the Fellblade dashed through the forest and does not get hit by any branches or thorns as well. Magic phase, he rolls an 11, so Winds of Magic are strong, and he's gonna go subsequently every single turn. He's gonna have at least 10 dice when he doesn't channel, so it's gonna be painful. And so Magic starts with Scorch on the Chameleon's Kings. He kills 5 of them. The last one stands there, passes his moral check, but it's pretty much, the unit is rendered useless now. The Plague Furnace does something with the template, shoots through the building, or through the ruin onto my Salamander. I'm not sure I should have let it go, but we roll it in the end, and the roll was favorable for accepting it, so we let it go. And I took the Salamander takes a wound for his trouble. He then casts Warp Lightning onto the Salamander there, but does not wound it. We then go on to the shooting phase. One of his mortar hits the skink unit on the right hand side there. Direct hits kill 5, I think, which is enough to cause a moral check, and I fail, although I have the BSB next. They panic and run off the board. Gutter runners aim closely at the Salamander, shoot, and 2 wounds get through. And finally, for the last shooting action on the Skaven part, he drops a mortar template onto the cold one. Apparently his mortar do not use the arrow to scatter when it's indirect fire, which is pretty awesome, I guess. So it direct hits, but only causes a wound. And that's the end of turn 1. So for my Skaven opponent, so yeah, not too bad. You know, I lost a unit of skirmishers. Chameleon's Kings have been dwindled to ineffective size. My Salamanders have taken a couple of wounds, but you know, I survived. You know, the block of Saurus Cold One Riders is okay. Basilion is okay. My 2 blocks of skins are okay. And my characters, Tetoeku and my level 1 priest, are okay. So I'm okay. You know, I'll take this turn 1. This is fine. So we go into my turn 1, and I decide, you know, I charge the skink skirmishers into the gutter runners. So I take care of them. Then I can prepare a counter charge or fire at the hell pit, weaken him. Hopefully he's gonna run into my skink skirmishers, and then I'm gonna poison him because I have poison attacks. And if that doesn't do enough work, then I can put some of my Saurus Cav in there, or my Bastiladon, or my Salamanders, or flank with my second cohort unit. So I'm looking. I'm using my skink skirmisher there to chaff up the Plague Furnace and his monks, and my Salamanders to do some lateral covering fire, hopefully to get a lot of units there. But, however, this is what happens. So remember, I am a Lizardman. I roll 3 dice for my leadership test, and I have a BSB in a unit, and I fail my stupidity check twice. I rolled 6, 5, 5. The second roll is 5, 5, and 4. There you go. So I needed an 8 or less, and I don't get it. So I roll stupidity movement, and I move forward 2 or 3, 4 inches, just right by the building. I cannot wheel. Such a bad situation. But I'm the half full glass type of guy, so I'm thinking, yeah, it's okay, I can recover from this. Yeah, his Doomwheel could charge, his character with Fellblade could charge, but maybe he's not gonna be able to. And yeah, I'm gonna poison his Hell Pit, and I'm gonna magic everything down, and it's gonna be cool. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. At least I'm gonna put some challenge, or give a challenge to my opponent. But turns out it won't. His Doomwheel, even though I try to chaff, and I can't really chaff any other way. Yeah, even if I put my Skink Priest angle so that the Doomwheel overruns away from my Cold Blood Riders, his character with Fellblade could charge the Skink Priest in the flank and then overrun directly. And I'm not looking forward to face the Fellblade guy without putting a few more wounds on it, or at least, you know, debuffing it with Tetoeko's Law of Heaven spells. So yeah, so unfortunately his Doomwheel is gonna get in, overrun. I'm gonna kill Doomwheel, but I'm gonna lose a few Source Cold One Riders. His Fellblade guy is gonna come and charge me in the flank, rear. I do not end up killing his Hell Pit, although I get poison attacks out the wazoo. It's not gonna happen. My Salamanders misfire, I don't hit. It's not happening. My magic phase, is not too bad, but not as good as his, and it's got a lot of dice, and I can put a comet, and so it's a downhill battle from there until turn 5 when I call. And so yeah, I think this is where when I fail the stupidity roll and I move into the nearest or as close to the building as it is, so where I cannot wheel away from the building to charge the right or the left, I should have called it and said, right, we lost 20 minutes, you win the game, let's start over, new game, let's have fun. That's when I think I should have called it. I get lesson learned, maybe don't place it here, maybe try your luck and face the cannons. I hate cannons. Face the cannons, just do it, or try your luck, put the guys a bit further, or angle them so if they get stupid and overrun, then they go somewhere else. They go to the right, toward the forest, or they go towards the king court unit. Don't face them towards the building. So there you go. What do you think? Is it okay to call a game like this? Do you try to recover? Or, have you identified in your army list the point of no return? If you lose something, or if something is rendered useless for a couple of turns, you're going to lose the game. And this is a reflection I think is important. And now I know, if that block is rendered useless, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. Yes, I could poison down his help hit. Yes, I could shaft up the rest of these units. But ultimately, I'm pinned down. He's gonna play me. He's gonna outmaneuver me because I can't move, basically. And it's gonna be an uphill battle from there. And it's gonna go downhill for me. There you go. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any comments, or if you have considered what is the point of no return, the breaking point for your army. Now, if something is rendered useless, is neutralized, is killed, destroyed, do you know when you should really call a game, start over, and enjoy the evening.